How often do we stop to take a look at our life? How often do we go offline to deeply consider all the things demanding our attention, or how those demands are affecting our well-being or those we care for, or simply to determine if what we're doing lines up with what we want? What do we want anyway? When we don't take that time, we risk living our life on autopilot. That's how we often end up burdening ourselves with all sorts of meaningless or resourceless thoughts, feelings, and responsibilities. We become a passenger reacting to a life that happens to us. In Bujo, we use our practice to switch off our autopilot. One of the ways that we do this is by regularly taking the time to reflect on our lives using our notebooks in regular daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly intervals.
I like to think of my notebook as a paper mirror. At any moment, I can pick it up and see my life reflected back at me, written in my own handwriting. But as opposed to a traditional mirror, this one allows me to see way below the surface. I can see things that may have been invisible otherwise, and all I have to do is take the time to look.
It's incredible what we can reveal to ourselves simply by taking the time to look at what we're writing down. In just a few moments of looking at what we have to do and what comes next, we can bring a tremendous amount of clarity into our lives. But it doesn't stop there. See, by capturing and organizing our thoughts day by day, we create a record of our life over time. We can start to chart out the relationships between where we were and where we are today, like how the actions or thoughts of our former selves influenced the experience of our current selves. In other words, through reflection, our notebooks can quickly turn from a mirror into a far more powerful tool, a map of our life. By writing down our tasks, events, and notes, our map allows us to triangulate how our actions influenced our experiences, how our experience influenced our feelings, and how our feelings influenced our actions, or how our experience influenced our actions and how our actions influenced our feelings, and so on. Looking at your notebook this way can help you connect dots that you didn't even know existed. We can use this map to help orient ourselves, not only physically, but emotionally. Cultivating an awareness of which activities, people, and experiences tend to nourish us and which drain us can help us make informed choices that are more likely to yield similar results. This awareness can be incredibly helpful as we continue to navigate our lives. This map doesn't only show us where we've been, but also where we're headed. What's the difference between a task and an event? A task is simply an event that hasn't happened yet. Just as each completed task becomes another life experience, each open task is an experience waiting to be born. It represents a possible future. You will or will not send that application, attend that meeting, have that talk with your partner, take a vacation, stay late, say yes, say no. These choices will shape your life, and you'll find them clearly mapped out in the pages of your notebook. No matter how powerful a map may be, though, it's only helpful if we take the time to study it. Reflection is a process of taking the time to ground ourselves and study our map to become aware of where we were, where we are, how we are, and how to make sure that we're headed in the right direction. In Bujo, we reflect in daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly intervals as part of our practice. We do this in various different ways that we'll explore in detail a little bit later on. But for now, the takeaway is that all of these approaches share something in common. It's that they help us turn off our autopilot. This is when we stop being passengers in our own lives. It's only when we become aware of and take responsibility for our choices that we have a chance to live a life that can happen for us.